organizing one. I always strongly suggest to organize an official Mastercard club because of the insurance and local church support. Some places they don't have Mastercard club, they are not familiar with that, but I strongly suggest that. And also to train the people is, as a principle, I don't bring people that I don't train first, because my kind of expeditions, they require kind of effort. I'm not saying that you need to be a superhuman. It's not about that. It's not a survival camping, but you need to be in a good shape, and you need to be normal person, okay? When I had bring people that I don't know, sometimes I get some surprises that I don't like. So I suggest to have a group to do that. If you want to invite not Adventist people, there is someone that needs to connect with that not Adventist people. Let's say a friend of a friend, a co-worker or a classmate, someone in your group that will connect with that person. I will invite that person. And doesn't need to be in every Mastercard Club meeting. It can be just in the preparation and training for the expedition, at least at the beginning, okay, until they fall in love with the activity. Pray about it, find a place, affordable, quiet, and known. Those three things are important. If it's too expensive, you want to go to Hawaii for an expedition, probably you will go by yourself. So try to find, there is always good places everywhere, and in Canada you have thousands of good places to do this kind of activity. Needs to be quiet, because if it's too crowded, and that's the problem with RVs, you know, if you go to a very crowded place, to enjoy nature, to connect with each other in a group, it will not be the same. Unknown, which means that you should go first and explore the place, or at least do your homework and make a research about the place. Everything that you can know, more information, the better. Also, testimonies or experiences from other people that have been in that place, that's very important. Set a date in consensus with the group. Again, this is Mastercard Club, or these are 16 and older. They have their own agenda for finals in the high school, in the college, for work or whatever. So you have to work with them the best time in the year. Different seasons make an expedition really different, and exactly the same place can be very different from winter to summer, from a rainy day to a sunny day, from fall to spring. So you have to consider everything. Announce it as soon as possible so people can prepare. Set a cost budget, establish a final cost per person, and announce it as soon as possible. What I like from Master Guides, many times they have their own car, so you don't need to have a bus, but sometimes that the bus is it is a good idea, but that makes cheaper the event. Train the members in the camping skills requirement from the Master Guide curriculum. And please understand this, many of your Master Guide Club members are 16 or something, and they will have camping skills 1 to 4, for example. They will have backpacking, the backpacking honor, but that doesn't mean that they know what they are doing. Perhaps they did it when they were 11, 12. So I strongly suggest to teach it again on a Master Guide level, which means an adult level. Make a list of the equipment necessary as soon as possible. And please understand that there is not a list that matches for every activity. Every expedition is unique, has a different configuration, and the final list will be ready, let's say, a couple of days before the activity. Why? Because you will have a more accurate forecast. You can send a general list at the beginning of the year so people have time to, get a good sleeping bag, a sleeping pad, a backpack. But and by the way, you can adapt these principles to any kind of activities, as I mentioned before. Create a team, establish clear and simple rules, okay? So that will make it easy to enjoy. Design, and this is important. Pay attention to this, please. Design a unique, creative, spiritual program. So it is not the same to pray alone in your room than to do it in the forest. So think about that. You can say, okay, let's separate for prayer alone. Probably you will not do that in the church very often or in the regular class of the club. But if you do it in the forest, that's a unique moment. It is not the same to preach from a pulpit than from a rock in the river or next to a campfire. Consider that, okay? When we, by the way, when we think on a spiritual retreat, the first thing that we will try to get is a good preacher. Oh, we need a good preacher, because a good preacher, you know, after 20 miles walking with a young person, after, you know, a good meal next to a campfire or next to a lake, you can be perfectly that good preacher. You just need to prepare something simple, open your heart, be authentic, be honest from your heart, and that will impact that boy, that girl, that young person more than the best preacher that you can get, okay? That don't have that connection with them. Keep that in mind. It is not the same as Holy Supper in the temple than in nature. Whoa. If you have a pastor at hand, you can do a Holy Supper in nature. And that's not something that is, you know, is against God. Just the opposite. Jesus loved nature. And the original Holy Supper was a real one. They really eat there. They really wash their feet that were full of dust and dirty, and they really connect. So think about that. Why not? It is possible to find hundreds of Bible verses describing the nature. So please, if you're in the middle of nature, don't start talking about, I don't know, the horses of Revelations. Try to connect the people with what they are looking for, what they are looking around, exactly as Jesus did. Jesus will say a parable that was connected with something in the field that was around them. So please do that. And finally, take the time and make a program balance between spiritual activities, training, and recovery. Okay? Not just training, please. Spiritual activities are very important, and that's the main reason to go to these places. You can do training at home, but you cannot connect with God in the same way in your room that you can do it in the forest or in a mountain or things like that. Let me tell you, that's a fact, basically. And recovery time means fellowship, means time to talk, to enjoy the place, to rest and recover the strength for the next day. Usually when I organize an expedition, I spend I will say this further, but I spend most of the energy and the time on Friday. So we burn everything while we are excited and happy. We rest on Sabbath, and Sabbath rest is the best thing in the expedition because you can really enjoy the place and recover your body. And finally, the last effort, but it shouldn't be as big as Friday, for Sunday. So you go back to your car, but you are happy because you are not dead. Basically, you are not so tired that you didn't enjoy the last day. So that's an strategy. Have an emergency plan informing the details of the activity to the church and authorities. Please, please, this is really important. And don't tell it to your wife, let's say, or to your husband. Tell to someone that is capable to run an emergency rescue. Not, let me say it in a better way. Someone that knows where you are, knows who to call if there is a problem, if you don't show up when you're supposed to show up, if you don't call when you're supposed to call, someone that knows how to proceed, okay? Prepare all the backpacks the day before. That's another trick that I like to do. Then you check the weight of the backpacks, and you don't need to, explore everything, but you check the weight. And if it's a ton, you have to invite that person to check what is in there, because it is not possible. I mean, people should use 5 to 10% of their weight in the backpack, no more than that. The more you know, the less you bring for yourself, and you will have more space to bring extra for other people. Just carry all that you need and not all that you can. That's important that we have to teach that. Be on time and respect the program, but at the same time, we be ready to adapt, since nature changes all the time, and that's beautiful and that's amazing, because it is sunny. And if you're in the mountain, it is sunny now, and in half an hour it is raining, and where is this coming from? Well, that's the mountain, for example. Make the largest physical effort on Friday. I already said this. Recover on Sabbath and finish it on Sunday. Evaluate the practices of camping skills. So you teach the theory, explaining, we need this for the expedition. We need this for the expedition. We need this for the expedition. Understand that they are not adventurers, not pathfinders, and they are not soldiers. Okay? We use militarism, and that's correct, but they are not soldiers. They are coming to the Master Club because they want to grow, or they should want to grow spiritually, connect with God, and prepare for heaven, because they need Jesus as we need Jesus. And we use militarism, but the army is a different thing, let me tell you. Expeditions, you can call it hiking, trekking, backpacking, ultra light backpacking, minimalist backpacking. There are different styles. You pick the one that you like it the most, but expeditions are a journey undertaken by a group of people with a particular purpose, especially that of exploration, research, or war, okay? We use just exploration, research, and spiritual war. The blessing of this activity, and I love this picture. This is in the North American Division Office, the original one of these. And I strongly believe that when you're in the forest, when you're in nature, Jesus is right there with you, enjoying the same campfire. It is so easy to think like that. The blessing of this activity. They were the spiritual retreat of Jesus. Okay, Luke 5:16. They were the spiritual retreats of Jesus. If you remember, you had to Google how many miles or kilometers Jesus walked. It was amazing, because you think 3.5 years and how many meetings? No. Jesus' mentorship was not about meetings, it was about miles. He walked hundreds of miles with their disciples, hundreds of kilometers with their disciples. And what do you do when you are walking so many kilometers? You talk because you had to connect. And by the way, there is a system called the buddy system. When you connect with somebody else, that will check on you all the time, and you check on that person all the time, and you talk, okay? You can make it 2 or 3 people. You connect and check each other to see if you are doing fine. And you talk, and you talk, and you talk, and you create a bond, and you connect. And, after that, the friendship becomes brotherhood, and it's really, really, really strong. And when Jesus needed to connect with God, he will just walk away to the mountain, to the wilderness, kneel and talk with God directly, one-on-one. He will not, and this is, how can I say this? Because I love, but this is what the Bible shows. He didn't go to the synagogue to connect with God. He went to the synagogue to learn about God. But he will go to the nature to connect with God, to be alone, the one-on-one in the secret place where only God and him will be talking. And that's something that we had to experience and to understand. Our relationship with God is not because we go to the church. Our relationship with God happens when nobody else is around us, when we are alone with God. That's the real connection with God. Direct access to the revelation of God in nature. Helen White says that this was the first book. Before the Bible, they have nature. Adam and Eve, they have nature as a way to understand God. And that was amazing. Create a small Christian community. Remember the three things that I mentioned at the beginning? One was community. The expedition will create a small Christian community with strong bonds, replicating the early church for few days. Remember how was the early church? They will sell everything they have and share with everybody, and they will connect every day. Exactly the same thing. When you're in an expedition and you have a problem, that's a problem for everybody. If you had too much food and the other guy has not enough, you will share for sure. For several reasons, just like the early church. But one of the reasons, it is not a good reason, which is you don't want to bring that food back in your backpack. You want to get rid of everything as soon as possible. But the good reason is that you are creating that community. And one day is for you, and the next day will be for your partner. Produce authenticity beyond appearances and smells. You know, when we are in a city, in the church, we can dress amazing and with our ties and nice shoes and our car or whatever. But when you are in the middle of nowhere and you are sweating and you are tired and you don't care about the photo, basically, you cannot care about the photo because there is nothing that you can do. And everybody smells like smoke of the campfire and everybody's tired, and that's amazing. That's authenticity. You cannot fake that you are not tired because everybody knows that you are tired, and that's amazing. And that's another way to connect with each other that will bring down the curtain of society, you know, that I have more, you have less, we cannot share. Well, those curtains, those borders are not there in the great outdoors, especially in an expedition in the middle of nowhere. Increase physical, mental, and spiritual resilience. Increase physical, mental, and spiritual resilience. And I can tell you this, when you come back from these activities, you are stronger. You feel better because, and I will show you another reason for that, because when you walk, you generate endorphins. When you talk and create bond, you feel better and you feel really good. But after that kind of exercise, you feel stronger physically. You need to develop your mental and your spiritual resilience also. Establishes a very strong common purpose. Remember, community, authenticity, and purpose. The purpose is we had to get there. We had to get there. And everybody is in exactly the same page. Nobody's thinking, no, I will come here. No, we had to get there. We had to get there. And that's the purpose for everybody. And to stay alive and to support each other and to share and community and authenticity. And you mix everything together in a weekend. And the outcomes of that are really, really good, let me tell you. Plus endorphins, weight loss, joy, fun, identity, plus adventure, teamwork, marketing, commitment. Why marketing? Well, sometimes we struggle thinking, how can I market my event? How can I? If you do a good expedition, they will love it and they will pass the word, and others will connect with the expedition. Others will be eager to experience the same thing of these people that these people experience it, and yes, that's the best marketing you can have. And teamwork and commitment. The last one is commitment, and this is really important. In my experience, once you connect with young people, I'm talking about young people, you have their loyalty. Okay, so first you ask them to go to a fun backpacking trip without commitment, but what you are developing is exactly that, commitment. And and they will hear your voice and they will identify you as a leader. So the next time that you will invite the same young person to go to clean a house from someone that cannot do it, to do missionary activity, community service, a missionary trip, whatever you have plans for your club, for your church, that young person will answer to you, because you know him or her, he knows you, and there is a bond, and you are their leader. Okay, that's why it's so important, people. I will repeat again, you are not the leader. I'm not the leader. I'm a Master Guide Club director. I'm not the leader because I have the title that says director. I'm the leader because I love them first. I share time with them because I share experiences with them. I eat with them. I pray with them. And if it's necessary, I will cry with them. And because of that, then I will have the authority to talk with them, okay? To talk to them and ask them more things.
Walking and Working with Jesus is sponsored by the Ontario Conference. It is a children and youth evangelism initiative. If rightly trained, they will help finish the work of the gospel. So join the adventure of Walking and Working with Jesus this year, 2021. Grow as a faithful young disciple of Christ. Learn skills in digital evangelism. Impact the world with the good news. Go and make disciples of all nations. Be a digital disciple maker. Learn how to be a digital missionary. Don't be a mere spectator, be involved. Be a positive and social influencer. Reach others through creative ministries. So be a part of WWJ 2021. Upcoming training events are set on February 7th at 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Next will be on April 4th from 3 to 5 p.m. and then on June 6th from 3 to 5 p.m. This training program is designed for children ages 6 to 17. To register, go to adventistontario.org.
Expeditions are inspired in the Christian journey, and not walk faithfully with God, and I will walk among you and will be your God. On the road of Emmaus, then Peter got down of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. Walking is always around. And if you see this portrait on top of my slide, this is the first Helen White's vision, the journey of the Christian. This is in General Conference Office in the Helen White State, the original one of these. And this is basically it, the journey, the walk. We work together, we support each other. We will see people giving up on the trail, but we don't give up because we are a team and we are stronger together and we support each other, and Jesus will come with us no matter where we go. Okay, in that way we can connect with each other, we can connect with God and enjoy his creation. Okay, basically you need to remember that this is not about us, it is about them. These are some of the expeditions that I have been participating or organizing. Hundreds of young people. And let me tell you, many of them are not in Pathfinder Club anymore, but they are in the church and they are volunteers, they are leaders, they are elders, they are Christian professionals, and they are missionaries somewhere in the world. And I don't know if Master Club has something to do with that, but I like to believe so. And your connection, your authenticity, your open heart will make the difference in the life of these young people. Please keep that in mind. Maybe you don't like to sleep in the middle of the jungle, mosquitoes, or walk through a river, but I'm afraid they need that kind of experience with you in order to connect and to listen to what you had to say and your plan for them, okay? This was last year Glacier Expedition Master Guide Outdoors. I will share a short video with you. I don't know if, yes, I can share a video. This is a report of the very first one that we had, and part of the group that was part of that attended this activity.
Ready to go! Yoo-hoo! We made it to the top. Master Guide Outdoors! Woo!
So basically, you can imagine the temperature of that lake. It is in the north of Montana. So we park 100 meters from the border with Canada. And I know that you have much better places in Canada. So there is no excuse, you know, to not to do something like this. And, it is about experience. These guys, when I told them we should jump in the lake, they look at me like saying, are you not very healthy today, or what's happening with you? And of course we jump in the lake, we shout a little bit, but after that you feel amazing, and they appreciate it and they want to do it every time we go over there. And you can say that's crazy, that's not crazy. We keep learning, you know. I didn't know that until somebody in Norway told me how to do this. And you keep learning from locals wherever you go. I brought my experience from South America, for example, but it didn't work here in the United States. So I learned from people here how to do things, as I learned in Norway how to do things. And we adapt, we keep adapting. For now, I'm learning from young people how to use Zoom, how to make a video conference, how to teach online and run a camporee, because I didn't know. And we should be keeping and growing as leaders. And even if we have our sash full of patches and everything, we should have space always to keep learning how to connect people with God.